Here's my audience. Okay. As the seasons change, I always get the urge to go shopping. Now that it's getting hot outside and I've taken my clothes from last summer and tried them on, some of them don't fit or they're just not my style anymore. And so for me, instead of going to like a big retail store like Target, I like to go to thrift stores to buy things secondhand. It is important that as a consumer, and we are all consumers, that we know that our actions have an impact. I like to check out local thrift stores in cities that I go to, especially now that I've been going back and forth from Asheville. It's been a really fun activity that I like to do. And so today I want to encourage you to start buying things secondhand for your wallet, for the uniqueness and the creativity, and for the betterment of the environment. So buying something secondhand just means that you are buying something that's been used before, or as some people like to say, that's been pre-loved. Buying secondhand, it's smarter for your wallet. You can find more unique things in thrift stores that you'd find in other stores, and it is more sustainable. It's a more sustainable way of shopping. So you can save money by choosing to shop at secondhand stores versus the full price at retail stores. Capital One Shopping did research about how much the average American thrifter could save if they switched to thrift shopping, and they'd save on average of $1,400 a year. And I feel like that's a big, chunk of change that you could put into savings or that you could use for other things like buying food or rent. Another cool thing about buying secondhand is that if you were smart about it, you could actually turn a profit. My mom likes to collect sterling silver. And so one year after Thanksgiving, she bought this sterling silver teaspoon. And when she bought it after Thanksgiving one year, it was $12. And this morning when I checked on eBay to see how much that specific spoon was worth now, it's worth $99.99. So if you paid attention to the prices of interesting things like silver, you could really make a profit from shopping secondhand. Another reason is that you can find really unique things. And I don't mean just clothing. I want to show you a bedside table that my mom got secondhand that I keep in my room. I think this is a really fun bedside table. It's really cool. You can tell that somebody broke up a plate and then glued it on in a random pattern. And so whenever I see that, it makes me happy because I know that somebody else probably made that homemade, loved it for a while, didn't have any use for it, and now it's in my room. And so the last, and I think the most impactful reason why you should shop secondhand is that it is better for the environment. Worldmetrics.org has an entire page on their website dedicated to current and verified statistics about textile waste all over the world. And when I was reading through those statistics when I was getting research for this speech, it really hit me hard. There's a couple of them that stuck with me that I want to share with you. 11.7 million tons of clothing every year is discarded. It's not donated, it's not being reused or recycled into other materials, it's just being discarded. And to me, that's a hard number to fathom. I don't know how to picture what 11.7 million tons looks like or could look like in clothing, but that's so much waste. And to add on to that, 85% of that 11.7 million tons either gets burned or goes to a landfill. So burning clothing, that can't be good for the environment. And then with landfills, something that to think about is that a lot of these new clothes that are being made right now are being made with synthetic textiles. And so Science Insights did research into what, like a piece of clothing like that's made from polyester, how long that would take to decompose in a landfill. And they estimate it could take 200 years. And so that's a lot of clothing that's sticking around for a long time. And if more people bought secondhand and recycled their clothes, we could make a big impact on reducing that devastating statistic. And so how can you start doing this? How can you start buying secondhand? You can do what I do and shop at local thrift stores. The next time you want another piece of clothing, you can start at a thrift store instead of going to a retail store. You can also choose to shop at websites like eBay that sell used things if you're an online shopper. And then lastly, which I think has been cool for me to be a part of, is that you can host and organize a clothing swap with some friends. So you gather up the clothes you don't wear anymore, they don't fit, and you can swap clothes with some of your friends. And then the next time you see them, you can see them wearing some of your clothes, and you'll have some more secondhand clothes for your closet. So shop at secondhand stores. I hope that after hearing about just a few reasons why you should be doing this, that you're thinking about how you could be saving more money, how you could have a more creative wardrobe and one-of-a-kind pieces of furniture, and how you could shop more sustainably. So please shop at secondhand stores. I think that as humans, we have a responsibility to care about the environment, to care about our planet, for every living thing, and then also for future generations to come. When you buy secondhand, you are being a more ethical consumer. Okay. All right, here's my audience.